Hello, one and all, and welcome to probably the very first solo cast by myself, Devmon, and just for fun. A little bit late night recording, but this is a game submitted by a friend named Linn, who's graciously led this match to basically do some showcasting basically over. And with that out of hand, and of that basically covered, let's just get right into the gameplay, shall we? So, just gonna wait for things to spawn out. Everybody's gonna start both abilities just with the patch. In terms of people on teams, we have Robin on 1, we have Beetlejuice as a Lone Star, and we have Clunk rounding out that team, making for a pretty bulky, pushy team. For the blue team, Linn is playing your Penny, the cheerleader Penny. We have DJ Jammy Cat playing your Swiggins, and we have Yuri being played by Guif. I've not seen anybody play before in terms of I've not seen them before, I should say, rather. And other than that, I know Linn has appeared in some solo streams, and it's basically it's not a bad penny, if I could say so myself. So early items being picked up right out the gate. We have Clunk with frag shells to do AoE damage. Clear out and off. We have Jimmy, the spot not picking up anything. And we have some brawling going up in mid right here. Linn's going to take a bit of damage and go back. Robin's going to do some damage, and it's like just a little bit of poke between the red and blue teams. In terms of the mid control, that's what blue team is going to want, with Yuri being able to put mines down. Right now Yuri's controlling this guy up there, and he's trying to do his best. We have Jimmy being pinned by the anchor drop, and that's going to be enough damage with the pulse and the auto attacks just to finish him off in that situation. Now Yuri has the mid, and he's at a huge advantage in this case. Otherwise, other early upgrades include a curious piggy bank of Yuri, who's not used piggy bank to get any other item, which is rather unrecommended. Oh, and in this case, we have a pulse going off of Linn that's going to actually finish off the Lone Star as he tries to get back to tower, rather than dropping going to the bottom tower. That Clunk's gone for a little bit of an auto attack build using homing and frag, and that damage to actually take out both Beef and Dr. Jammy Cat, securing a double kill and bringing back the XP in terms of the team's favor. Linn's going to do some brawling on the mid, but with not all the charges in hand, it's going to be a little bit hard to really punish Clunk, especially if the HP he's going to get. We have Robin being taken out by a pulse, a one-charge pulse of all things by Penny, and it's actually going to basically give the blue team a kill advantage in that situation. Otherwise, interesting builds going on these players. We have Swiggins going your typical Blue Hearts medal for the burst, but you have Fury piggy banked, and the piggy bank now makes sense as he's been able to pick up the Hubble Lens. Beetlejuice is going to escape just barely in the bottom, and he's going to be A-okay. Whereas Linn's trying to find a way to escape there, going to dodge the Clunk Explode, and find herself doing pretty well. Actually, with a little bit of charge and a little bit juking, going to be able to get out of there before anything else happens. And going back to builds, Hubble Lens for Yuri, which is just auto attack damage. A little bit early to get it, but in this situation Yuri's looking probably to go for maybe more of a laser build. Other than that, Boom Bolts on Lone Star allows for very fast and clear push, and Danger Pins combined with Boots make Jimmy very good at going in and getting out, but unfortunately will not be able to help the Clunk in that case as he goes down. Lone Star's got barely any HP, and just managed to survive just as Gleef and Linn also do. Swiggins looking to go in, misses the dive there. Quite unfortunate, but that's just going to be how it goes. At the moment, in terms of team contribution, Yuri's actually provided the most overall damage, but has seen no kills on his part. Meanwhile, Linn has actually done fairly well. 4 kills, securing a lot of the last hits. And unfortunately, not in this case, as Robin's going to actually pick her off right there with the auto attacks and get out with the combination of Boots and Danger Pins. But overall, like there's some good Penny plays there, and doing Penny as an assassin is probably one of the best ways to play her. Other than that, Red Team has actually got a couple kills for Clunk early on, and that just recent kill with Jimmy in the black spot, which is fairly good. Other than that, I'd say that the pick is going to be an interesting choice, and that it's really going to help them just apply the damage they need to do. Multi-host on Clunk is going to be very interesting because it allows him to get a couple droids. He can sustain himself in lane a lot harder, which is going to allow him to sustain a lot more damage than he normally would be able to. That's especially good if he wants to take some mines for his droids. We have mines actually hitting on Jimmy as he runs out, and it's going to be able to get away, but it still takes quite a lot of damage. The Lone Star, on the other hand, is a little bit low, and Clunk takes the jump pad onto the wrong side of town. The Lone Star is able to teleport it back to base and stay safe, and Clunk is able to run back as well, so he's out of there. current upgrades include more regen for Lone Star. We've got some Dynamite going off. The mine's actually hit after a 4 dash inside. It seems like it was a misplaced dash in the sense that he went in there, he wanted to do some damage to Yuri, but Yuri actually has enough damage given his sustain with the double lance and the Vena lifesteal on the basically time warp in order to sustain himself. At this point in the game, I could probably recommend cooldown bowl for Beetlejuice there. Being able to spam the bowl a lot more would actually allow him to basically absorb more mines for the team, as he's doing here, putting out the mines with the bowl instead of taking the damage himself. So that's something you might want to consider later on, depending on what he wants to build. But for now, it seems to be focused on here, being that damage versus grenades is basically his dynamite, as well as the AoE for his auto attack shots, looking to just do a lot of damage. Looking to clear as much, which is basically what Lone Star wants to do. See here that he's actually going to dodge the anchor dive, and he's actually going to get out here. Doing a fair bit of damage to the bottom team, the blue team's bottom third. One's going to clear, and red team's just actually looking to actively push constantly. And the reason for that, instead of farming the Worm Slayer on bottom, would be to really control what's going on. Beetlejuice is going to have to back off because he's low HP, but he's going to try to come in, and Yuri's in a poor position for the second. He may be fine, but he's going to need some help from the team. He's looking to actually go in there, use the laser effectively, and manages to actually pick off Jimmy, effectively with the lifesteal and the extra damage on laser. So, actually really well played on that part, because it's not easy. Going to teleport back to base, he's going to be absolutely fine. Meanwhile, Penny's left to defend on her own, and it's not something that's going to be so hard for her. Clunk can push with the AoE, and like Lone Star's going to definitely want to push. But the only thing holding Penny back in that case would actually just been the health. Explode comes out, hits Fleet, and does not do quite a lot in this situation. He's not built in explode damage, and he's mostly focused on just kind of controlling the area. You can see with his current build, Boots allowed to basically keep up with the enemy Awesomenauts, and the combination of homing plus frag allows him to ward off all the knots together here. We have Yuri pick up the solar from underneath the room, he gets hit with the bouncer, and uses the lifesteal as well as the heal bubble to basically keep himself propped up and safe for a second. We have the laser coming out, going to do a little bit of damage, and Robin's going to retaliate with a charge, using the danger pins to add a little bit of chip damage onto the enemy team. They're going to have to go back, grab some health creeps, and be fine. Lone Star's back into the fray, he's going to be the one pushing. It seems like the teams are mostly just kind of throwing in their knots, not in coordinated bursts, as you see in some competitive games, but in this situation, this pub game, it's best for them to just get as much pressure as possible. Anchor goes in, and with only one stage of magnetic anchor, it's not really going to do a lot of damage. The mine up from the jungle is going to explode, and that means Robin, the Luck, is going to have all the help in the world. Lands all 4 missiles, actually does a fair amount of damage to Yuri, looking to basically chase him down. Yuri, however, has other plans, with the addition of Lifesteal Laser, really human number, combined with the mines as well. Making him, the situation's a little bit worse for wear. Red team, however, dealing with the blue team towers, and managed to take off the top tier basically right now. That's the first tier going down about 8 minutes into the game. Blue team's looking to brawl right now. Yuri's going in, the time bubble, not quite enough. He's got some mine damage going on, which is nice, but he needs a little bit more defense to please secure some kills. And the blue team needs to really work together, especially with Swiggins, who's basically the burst machine for the team. Blue team charge going to go down, and Robin's actually going to get another kill using the danger pins on charge to basically nuke Swiggins there. He's going to go back to base, and red team's actually looking like they're in a fantastic position. They're doing quite well for themselves right now, and I have to say that blue team's going to have to gather up together to make a comeback. You see Penny's gone for Spider-Bird Badge, which is the auto attack upgrade when you have 4 more charges. Gives you a ranged auto attack. Fairly significant, especially against melee knots, such as Jimmy and of course Clunk. Allows you to do quite a lot more. Poke, and basically whittle them down before you do something like that, where you just finish them off with a bit of burst. Otherwise, we have Jimmy picking up the keys, which give him a little bit more for the charge speed, so he's allowed to charge in there a lot faster, which might help him secure some kills in some situations. Actually, in this situation, Clunk's going to come in, hits the bite, hits the explode, does a lot of damage, but thanks to the heal, the life steal, everything else, he's actually just going to be fine. He's got a very, very hard to kill build going on for himself, and he's just going to try to avoid being finished off at the moment. He's going to basically provide frontline tanking services in most cases. Otherwise, Lone Star's got more dynamite damage, it's got dynamite range, that's fairly standard. Punk's gone for pills, which are going to make him a lot more bulky. He's going to combine that with Barrier Magazine, which is a 5% damage reduction, which works very well with the sealing mechanics with Vacuum Light. Otherwise, he's actually picked up more laser damage, instead of attack speed. Laser damage has the advantage of adding quite a significant amount of damage. It might make a big deal when he's defending situations get destroyed. I see he's taking a lot of damage from the dynamite, and the red team is really coordinating the burst quite well. Blue team's at a very big disadvantage at the moment. You can see the damage values show that. Klunk's currently got quite a lot of damage for himself, and I think the upgrades that he's chosen actually have led it to that situation. Otherwise, Blue team's just having a hard time getting the upgrades they need, and they're basically left to defend the back here. They're going to go in, do some damage, but it's unfortunately not going to amount into a lot of anything at the moment. Magnetic Anchor is a great upgrade. However, it's highly recommended to grab Spoons, the burst upgrade. It applies on every single bit of anchor drop. To not be avoided unless your characters have invincibility frames. And works well Vamp. Linn's actually going to go in, get the kill and Clunk, assassinate very effectively, and do some really good brawling. Looking to get that Jimmy, actually just... Oh, barely gets the Jimmy actually in this situation. Looks like Jimmy will teleport back there for a second, and Linn's actually going for the third kill. Beetlejuice needs to get out of there before he gets picked up. He's going to try to teleport, and Yuri does not get the laser out just because of the delay of mine. So Beetlejuice is going to be fine going back to base, but that gives Blue Team an opportunity to actually push either top or bottom in this situation, probably top since it's a little bit lower. Otherwise, we have mines going up. You're looking to siege up that top constantly, and at this point, the best thing Squeakins can do is probably push out the bottom while they siege the top. It seems like they're all going to go back for a second. Having that little bit of a brawl, having the kills, especially from the Linn out there, really secured the EXP lead for Blue, but having a lack of turrets really makes it a difficult situation. Squeakins going to miss the anchor drop, unfortunately, and he's going to be able to threaten them out. Red team's stuck between the turret and a potential really bad situation, especially with the Yuri mines that might be popping down there. However, this looks like Blue will find. Actually, Yuri comes down at the very wrong time and gets picked off with a danger pins charge, and Robin's going to have a rather good time as hitting his Jimmy in this situation. 3 to 6 isn't that great, but given the effects he has been going for, it's just he's been making the right picks all the time. You see your ability is extremely low. Linn's going all in, as Squeakins does barely HP. He gets hit by a missile thanks to the homing and gets picked off, leaving Linn as the only character alive on their team. If she gets picked off in this situation, Red Team will demolish the tower and push to win. You can see here the points that explode. The tower's at half HP, and a charge! A pounce into the mine, right into the jungle, allows Linn to actually secure the kill on Lone Star there, giving a little bit of a turnaround there. If she can keep finding the picks and keep harassing as much as possible, especially with Yuri's support, they might be able to turn it around. In terms of interesting upgrades, Baby Curie mount being picked up by Linn, the penny right now. While the red team doesn't have a lot of CC at the moment, it would help with not much, to be honest. There's not anything that's really coming up that's threatening CC, but if there was the idea of very close slow bite or a snare bite, it would change that. So we can very low HP, he's going back off, and we have Clunk very low on HP. A pounce combined with some claws from Linn and the Yuri's help is actually going to fish him off. Blue team's looking a little bit better for wear. They look like they've got a little bit more pressure that they come flag. And Linn has finished off her gun penny build, actually picking up the... well, I have to wait for a second as the... sorry, pounce into claw, into more pulse, into more claw. Basically finish off the Jimmy situation. Yuri's been really good for support for Linn in this situation, just because he's been able to heal her up and slow down the enemy team, making them far more vulnerable to different CC effects. And we have the blue team actually pushing bottom as much as possible right now. We've got put lines right behind, so if there are any bulls that want to push into the tower, it won't be as painful. And it looks like Punk's coming down for the explode. Explodes far too early, he misses it, and he's going to have to go back up after that to take a lot of punishment. He actually might go down if he's not careful. He's going to go from the bottom and try to escape. Golf's looking to do some work for mines, but Lone Star's actually going to be fine. He's going to be able to shoot through the blaster and be able to get out of that situation quite fine. Otherwise, Punk's going for a tank build, which would help in this situation. Beetlejuice being caught between, Pulse combined with Laser ends up in a dead Lone Star. The damage amp from the pulse really helps laser do quite a lot of damage, especially when it stacks up the crystal. Otherwise, we have Linn just barely getting away from the Jimmy, and Jimmy's actually going to be in a situation where he's going to charge the degree, but thanks to the help from Swiggins, he's not going to be able to do anything there. In that situation, he overcommitted and may have wanted to go back. See, the blue team's actually starting to make a quite significant comeback. They're a couple levels ahead well, levels above HP, and the red team's trying to push into situations where they shouldn't really be in. Blue team's trying to stick together more, and the red team basically has decided, let's go in at one at a time, and that's going to give the blue team what they need to come back in the situation. Super droid for blues on bottom, looking to push that tower. If they can get it there, it's going to be pretty much a little bit of a decent damage. They've got no meat soaking droids with the saw blade droids because they're a little bit farther back. Otherwise, we have Linn going in, and Jimmy's fairly low HP. The clunk is going to explode, hit 2 targets. Unfortunately, he does not have thermonuclear cleaner for the extra damage, but he does have the tankiness and mental comp combined with Barrier Magazine command kills. The tankiest character in the game with that build. We have the explode, barely misses the Yuri in that situation, is able to get out. Really good play on his part. We have Jimmy charging the Swiggins way, making it easier for the clunk to initiate. He does a bit of damage, and the multi-hose actually allows him to sustain a little bit of damage. Pulse is going to miss. Actually, he's going to have a dangerous charge on bottom. Missiles come out, and he's got barely HP. If he wants any hope to survive a barrage from the Penny, he's going to have to charge. Unless the Penny in that situation actually didn't have any charges to basically use her skills. Yuri's getting charged right now, gets hit by a little bit of damage, but it's going to be okay. Lone Star in the meantime is just going to push as much as humanly possible. Being the, well, basically the dedicated pusher that he is. See, the red team is a bit split up right now. Lone Star is getting picked off by the entire blue team, whereas the red team has decided to play more defensively with the 2 tanks. A bit of a mistake in this situation, giving the blue team to get another kill. If you do play in pubs, and if you do play the game at all, one of the best things you can do to improve your gameplay overall is just sticking with teammates. Sometimes teammates will go too far in, sometimes they'll do some crazy plays, and you'll have to learn to back off, but staying with your team is vital to survival and vital to basically making pushes and doing anything that you want to do in this game. It's so team fight oriented, especially in that case where you've got Spoon plus Pulse plus all that damage up. Even with the bulk that Jimmy has, it's not quite enough to stay down to 3 knots, and that's exactly what the red team needs, or the blue team needs the whole time, and it's exactly what's happening right now. Pulse with Anger Drop is just too much damage for the red team to handle, and even with the kills that Clunk has, and even with the kills that Jimmy has, like Lone Star is fairly fragile, he's very squishy, and they're doing a really good job of just coordinating the bursts. We have Clunk trying to sustain the defense, and using frag shells combined with homing basically allows them to hold off the blue team's push as much as possible. We have Jimmy trying to get in there, trying to make some aggressive plays, but having a hard time to really go in. He's having basically trouble finding the right position for himself, and he's decided, well, if I can't do anything there, I'm going to try to attack the droids from behind. So right now, he's basically proxy farming. He's going to try to destroy the droids in the enemy team zone and behind their lines in order to stop them from advancing the towers. Bit of an interesting defense tactic, and it can be done with Jimmy, I'd say, just because his charge allows him to overextend in a lot of different situations. Would I recommend it? Probably not, given that he probably wants to stick with his team. He's got such a charge-focused build that maybe more auto-attack missiles might turn things around if you can watch soon. Bull going out the Yuri, he's going to get knocked away, and he's actually going to probably disengage. Meanwhile, Robin's going to just do a little bit of rolling, there's just a little shot back and left, and it seems like the teams are just kind of disengaging, looking to focus on clear more than anything else. Yuri with the lifesteal laser basically gets himself back up the ball. Linn going in actually to charge the pounce, going to get a kill, followed up with more claw shots, going to get a second kill, leaving the red team at a big disadvantage. Clunk's the only one up, and although Yuri's low HP, that lifesteal with Banana, combined with the little bit of healing that the Dots provides, is actually going to sustain him through Clunk's burst and basically make sure that he actually survives that in that case. And while it is useful, it is actually really cool to see Clunk's HP bar that huge and just be able to tank all that damage. One thing Clunk might have wanted to opt for might be even more missile damage. if not the explode damage. He's been landing those explodes fairly consistently and helping out. Charge goes off, really wacky charge, does tons of damage. Yuri's actually going to get killed off before he really gets his bubble to help him out in that situation, which is exactly what the red team needs to do in order to counter Yuri. Charge's going to go out, actually do a lot of damage to Linn, but there's no follow-up from the red team. Lone Star and Clunk are far away and unfortunately unable to help the kill. However, this doesn't stop the Lone Star from grabbing a kill on this Wiggins thanks to the damage that was done previously by that Jimmy. Clunk's going to go for the explode. He's going to do a fair bit of damage. Lone Star's going to try to push that bomb tower as much as possible. And is going to be able to hit a few droids, leaving the red team. Although despite being down in kills, to say the least, like, holy moly, that's Linn with 15 kills to 1 death. That's some work. That's some work. And Yuri's damage has been fantastic. They're looking to push the towers down as much as possible, and even with the lack of kills, and even with the couple levels down in XP, they can get that push point. They will come out ahead. However, it's going to be hard for them if a Penny has 16 kills and the amount of damage that she does. That's awesome. That's actually very, very good for the Penny's part. They've done some very good plays, especially just making sure that people die or to take advantage of the XP. In terms of dying, Jimmy's actually going to push Yuri into a bad situation where he doesn't want to be, and that's good for him, but it's not going to result in anything much as Yuri's going to be able to just get away. Lifesteal, although not great against teams that are really coordinated. If you don't have any coordinated burst, if you have enough HP to survive everything, Lifesteal Laser can actually be quite safer, and is going to be a savior in this case where he's able to lifesteal off the droids and actually sustain himself through all that damage, able to keep himself just barely alive using all that lifesteal plus all the laser damage. And he's actually going to round out his damage build as CPS build for laser. Oh, as an explode just misses Linn. Picking up the attack speed for laser combined with the maximum damage and the just better damage upgrade for laser. Linn's an interesting build. So we can go with the anchor drop, but do a bit to hold Clunk back from doing anything. Jimmy's going to go into the missiles, finish off the Penny, and basically gets a nice big solar bonus out of that one, leaving the red team in a position where Lone Star and Jimmy are trying to do as much tower damage as possible. Once that tower goes down, they've got another base entry. It's going to be huge. Squiggins attacks with a duration anchor combined with spoons combined with magnet, leading to really strong damage as long as the anchor's not dealt with. And in situations like that where you're left as basically as a pinata, basically let him do all the damage that he ever wanted to do, and is actually going to result in Jimmy going down. In other news, Yuri's picked up basically Chrono Rift, and that's not an upgrade that you see very often. Pull down the time bubble, and you usually want to pop the time bubble in one situation. That's why actually the second the Clunk goes in, does the explode, and the Clunk's actually going to get punished. He has a mass HP bar, so he can take the punishment, but he used team support in order to get out there. So a well-placed bull might be able to keep him alive, or if they can get a kill. Like that, DOT combined with all the extra bonuses, that's going to fish off. Jimmy's going to go in, try to get the charge up, and is actually going to be able to secure a second kill, leaving Linn, the Penny, as the only defender. As the red, that's a dead tower. That's a blue tower down indefinitely. Linn's got to be very careful how she places. However, some of the red team are actually low in HP, so if she's very smart about how she approaches the situation, she can just go in, kill the Lone Star, let Clunk explode, kill himself for the damage, and then try to fight the Jimmy. Jimmy's going to do a bit of poor damage, but have to basically be careful of his positioning. If he doesn't want to move out of that position, he's going to get pinched, and if he decides that it's not worth it. The core's at half HP, he's going to wait for his teammates to make one final push in order to secure the game victory. But if he's not careful, he might get caught up by the Swiggins, who, no, it's not decide to anchor dive quite yet. Otherwise, 18 kills for Penny, like, that's fairly significant. Penny's actually going to brawl with the Jimmy at the moment, just to force him away, and he's going to do so. He's going to respect the distance and decide, hey, what? Oh, she's actually fairly dangerous. I'm going to wait for my team and do what the blue team did in order to get that return push. So, at this point in the game, one team fight basically results in the end of the game. We have Jimmy and the Lux actually going to go put the fire down and teleport back to base, leaving Lone Star alone and a free kill for the blue team. Lone Star's going to be down for another about 20 seconds, giving the blue team felt like a push advantage. They can possibly get to the tower, but not quite take it down, especially the two red team knows that. Jimmy's going to make a good charge. Just avoid the anchor dive and everything else. He's going to be able to get out there, no problem. If he gets anchor drop, though, it's going to be game over for him. You have Yuri, lifesteal laser, enjoying life. does quite a lot of life steal as fine. The missiles hit, but they do not do quite enough damage to take out the Penny. Meanwhile, Jimmy's going to run away, use the fire to basically burn a hole into their hearts and threaten the core. So it means that, well, the blue team's got to defend that core as much as possible, or they're going to have to basically push as hard as possible. So Jimmy's in the core doing damage, meanwhile red team's trying to defend. So we're going to be able to basically teleport back just in time, and is able to do so. Jimmy's going to run out. He's basically just doing as much chip damage as possible. Kind of mean, to be honest, just doing as much damage as possible. Meaning the blue team would have to get like a full team wipe in order to actually push back and win the game. Might see it here though. Blue team's in a position where they've got Lone Star low. Swing the anchor misses. The anchor dive is not there. The ink's coming out though, and Beetlejuice is taking some damage. She's coming in to explode. Actually, plans to explode on the Yuri, but is not able to do enough. Linn picking up the Lone Star right there, and she's left at low HP. Meanwhile, Yuri is having a brawl of plunk and is taken down by missiles. If Linn goes down right here now, that's good game. She's got to dodge the explosion. She does with the pulse, with the pounce, and is able to basically, well, survive the onslaught. However, the damage, of course, is real and doing quite a lot. She's going to have to find the position, maybe get that gun going, and try to do so without dying. Jimmy, just comes in with the danger pins, barely finishes off Linn, and basically this has to be game. He swings him back unless he can burst down Jimmy in the second and just defend the core. No, that's it right there. That's unfortunately a good game for the moment. Even with the comeback the blue team had, they weren't able to really defend against the red team's onslaught. Some things to basically note, even though, well, it's basically, let's start with this. Kills and deaths. Linn, 20 kills with 3 deaths as Penny, and Yuri just with all that survivability. That's fantastic. The amount of damage that Yuri's putting out, that was really good. Swiggins missed a couple anchor dives, which could have led to a couple secured kills, and they really need to finish off Jimmy in some situations, and unfortunately that wasn't the case. In terms of what actually happened, the red team did come back. They found their opportunities. They got 1 or 2 kills, especially on the Swiggins and the Yuri, and they were able to basically take advantage of that and make as much hard push as possible, and that's exactly what Lone Star is good for. Even if he's down a whole bunch of kills and he's got a whole bunch of deaths, as long as he has enough solar and a lot of damage investment, he's going to push on those tires and basically turn it around, and that's what happened in that case. And Jimmy just kind of assisted in that by doing really good assassination picks actually early on, and just securing some other kills. And other than that, just doing some drone chip damage. Clunk's build, I don't think he contributed as much as he could have earlier on, but that's just because he focused in all on tank, and not necessarily a bad idea, but in this situation with like the squishies that they had, it may have been better to pick up the snare bite earlier just to secure explodes and secure other damage for his teammates and just stop momentum. And other than that, having the explode damage earlier, especially with the explodes he was landing, and doubly so especially on the Yuri, who needed to burst damage to die while he had a lifesteal laser up, would have been a lot better in that case, but that's just how it goes. Well, that was the first cast, and thank you very much for watching, and thank you again to Linn for submitting the replay to me. If you guys want your replay casted and it's a nice close game, just send me a message and I will try to do so when I put some time. So thank you very much. Have a good one.